Hello everyone, welcome to this video about the effects of World War I on literature by Diana Cortez. Hope you like it. The war brought massive social and cultural change, and the writers respond to this by experimenting with new forms and style of writing, exploring new themes as disillusionment, loss, trauma, and challenging traditional notions of languages and narrative. Before the First World War was characterized by realism and naturalism, an emphasis on morality and social norms, focused on a plot and a structure. But first, we're going to contextualize how was the morality and the social norm, how was the society at that time. It is called as the Victorian era, which was characterized by a strict adherence to social convention and morality. Was an emphasis on respectability, family values, and hard work. Victorian society was heavily stratified, with clear division between social classes and gender roles. That's why women were expected to be modest, obedient, and focused on domestic duties, while men were seen as the breadwinners and the heads of the household. Education was primarily for men, and women were often denied access to higher education and other opportunities. And this was reflected on the writing styles of the epoch. The realism and the naturalism were the dominant literary movement at the time, emphasizing the depiction of the world and in a realistic and objective manner. Also, romance and sentimentality. Alongside realism and naturalism, there was also a strong tradition of romance and sentimentality in literature. Writers focused on crafting histories that would capture the attention of readers and convey a clear message. The literature during the World War I, that was between 1914 and 1918, was heavily influenced by the events and the atmosphere of the time. Many writers who served in the war or were directly affected by it wrote about their experience, while others used the war as a backdrop for their stories. One of the most significant literary movements to emerge during World War I was the modernism. Modernist writers such as T.S. Eliot and Virginia Woolf rejected traditional literary forms and explored new ways of representing the fractured and uncertain world of the time. War poetry also became a prominent genre during the World War I, with poets such as Wilfred Owen and Siegfried Sassoon using their work to challenge the glorification of the war and expose the horror of the battlefield. The literature of World War I reflects the upheaval and trauma of the time and helped to shape the course of the literary history of the decades to come. The dominant styles in literature shifted dramatically, reflecting the profound social, political, and cultural change that had taken place. The trauma of the war led to a rejection of traditional forms and themes, and writers began to experiment new approaches of languages, structure, and subject matter. Here are some of the dominant styles in the literature after World War I. We have the modernist, that was the dominant literature movement of the interwar period, characterized by the rejection of traditional forms and focus on the experimentation and innovation. The modernist writers used techniques such as a stream of consciousness narration, fragmentation, and allusion to explore the fragmented nature of the modern experience. And we have the realism. It emerged in the 1920s as a reaction against the rationalism and the Enlightenment and the horrors of the war. Also, we have the existentialism. It emerged in the post-war period as a philosophical movement that emphasized the individual experience of existence. And finally, we have the social realism. It emerged as a literary movement in the 1930s, characterized by a focus on the life of the working class people and their struggles. Okay, and these are my findings. There was an incredibly increase in the amount of poetry and literature in general during and after the First World War, and it emerged the poetry as an independent genre. It was inclusive, everyone experienced the war from their perspective, and it was reflected on the poetry and literature, since it was the mean of expression, exchange of perspective, sensitive, and empathy. The change in literature style was not only in Europe, Turkey, India, and other countries in the war were involved. So it should be seen from a multiracial approach of or framework. Poetry is the means of retelling history. Even today, after years of the World War One, we reread the formative aspect of our present, the moral, social, and economic change that brought society to the now. And it was challenge for the writers of the time to put in words realities in which violence disrupts humanity or human essence, reality that could not be captured by words. And that's it. Well, thank you so much. I hope you like it. These are my references. Bye.